Welcome to Knit the Books, a video podcast for yarn and book enthusiasts by yarn and book enthusiasts. My name is Allie.
And I'm Vicki.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Hope everyone's doing well.
We are on, it's Memorial Day weekend, so we have a 3-day weekend, and after we finish this, we're going back to my house, and we're going to grill some hamburgers and hot dogs, and just
hang out,
visit for a little while, so.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
It's fun to get together.
Yes. So, it's been I think 3 weeks since we last recorded. My mom's been getting over bronchitis, and I had a really rough week last week with work, so we just decided not to podcast last weekend and just do it this weekend, so there we go. What have you been working on?
Well, I have finished a hat for kiddos. It is such a cute little hat. It's the May hat. It's there, look at that little design. Ain't that cute, this thing? It is the Wee Heather May hat, and it's by, I cannot pronounce her first name. It's T-A-I-G-A Hiller Designs. I thought it was super cute. Grabbed me 2 points for Into the Wool.
Awesome.
So
I still haven't started my hat, I realized. I finally, I think when we talked last time, I'd started projects with my needles that I usually use for my hats. I finally just ordered a new needle, and it came this week, so I'm going to try and cast it on maybe tomorrow.
That's okay. I haven't done a second one either.
That's so cute.
It's so cute.
I'm going to do a close-up of that pattern, because that's what I keep looking at.
It was a very easy little pattern.
Very cute.
Yeah, so we
it's a lovely pink.
It is a lovely pink.
So I've got nothing finished because I don't finish things.
But you did do birthday.
I did finish 2 wall hangings. I don't have any. I don't have them here. I gifted them, but yeah. So
that's pretty cool. I hope the recipients were happy.
They were. They liked them very much.
Wonderful. So. Wonderful. So, are you working on anything?
Yes, I've been knitting a little bit, not a whole lot. Like I said, I've been working a lot, and then last week was just really hard, so I haven't really been knitting, but I don't know if it's because it's a 3-day weekend, and I only worked like a half day yesterday, because I've worked over so much this past week that I was able to be done by noon yesterday, that I'm finally like, oh, I want to, like, craft and stuff, so I've done a little bit. I
love that bag.
This bag is from Cabin Creek Creations. I love the inside fabric. On one side,
oh my gosh,
black
that's
and
so
white.
cute.
I can't remember if I showed the inside last time. And then it's white and black on that side.
I love it.
I love that. And here I have my Calmy. I'm knitting this out of Malabrigo.
Oh, that's so pretty.
I'll have to look up the colorway. So I have gotten quite a bit done. And I am loving it in this color. I always forget how much I enjoy Malabrigo until I knit with it again. I have, I think, 1 more repeat, and then I can join in the round, so I'll have this done definitely next time we record.
We knit, we had a lunch knit at work this week, and Jennifer, my friend, is knitting a shawl. The girl's name is Janina. Stella. This is the name of the pattern is Stella, and it's gorgeous, and it was out of Malabrigo. It's just so soft and squishy. It was so pretty.
I'll try and find that pattern and link it in the show notes, because there will be show notes this time. I had so much technology stuff last time that I just couldn't do it. It took me, like, I think 5 attempts to get the podcast to upload.
Oh, my goodness.
And, like, when we saved it afterwards, it took, like, 30 minutes to even just save. It was ridiculous. So we'll see how it goes today. But this color is Solace. Yellow will be really pretty with black or gray.
I really like that pattern.
Thank you. I like it too.
I've been thinking about doing I wonder how you could do a set of minis with it.
Our friend Valerie did one with a set of minis. And I think she just changed the color. I don't know if she changed it when she ran out or if she did like 1 repeat per color.
Okay.
But I mean, you could do it either way. Because it would be kind of neat. I'll get the pattern back out. Because 1 full repeat is the garter and then the stockinette eyelet section. So it'd be kind of neat to do like maybe a color for garter, color for stockinette, garter, switching colors each.
Oh, that would be neat.
Or even just doing like a full repeat. So,
well, I had thought about full repeats.
It'd be very easy to do.
And this bottom one, you could almost do a little more maybe, because I was worried about at the top. Well, the minis I was thinking about only have 5, so that was kind of what threw me off. I was afraid there might not be enough yarn.
We'll look at it.
We'll look at it.
I'll count. We'll count and see how many repeats there are, and we'll figure it out. Because It'd be very easy to accommodate, though.
Yeah. So I am actually going to Into the Wool in September. So I have started the Spotlight knit-alongs, and then I have got two. I've posted pictures of one of them on Instagram, but the other one I haven't. So this is the first one, and
show the bag.
Isn't that bag
that's adorable?
Cute? It's an utterly adorable knits. It's knitting sheep. It's so cute.
I love the colors.
I love the inside.
I'm a sucker for inside fabric. I really am.
So here is Allie's Without a Sound. This yarn is gorgeous. This is my Without a Sound. It's one of Allie's patterns, and the yarn is Lake Francis Sunrise by Dana of Unwind Yarn Company, and my little Progress Keeper matches my bag. It's a little knitting sheep.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I was trying to hold the needle so it wouldn't hit the keyboard because it's very loud when it does that. And I try to edit it out when I can, but I can't always. So I'll see if I can get that a little bit closer. Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
I've got 4 of them. I'll give you one. But here,
thank you.
Here is the yarn wound up. Isn't that pretty? I just love the colors.
This is one of my favorite.
One of my favorite
colors.
too.
I need to get one. I think she put some in her shop recently.
I think she did too because it was. I think it was one. So many people liked it. So.
I'm trying not to buy things though. And all these people are like releasing things that they want that I've always wanted. And like, there's an eyeshadow palette that came on sale. It's like it's only $10 off, but it's on sale. So there's that part of my brain where it's like, it's on sale. It's on sale. You should get it. And I'm like, it's $10 off. That's not that big of a deal. And then like I showed it to Max, and he was like, "Oh, are you out of eyeshadow?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "Oh, honey." And I told him, "Thank you." Yeah. Because I need that sometimes.
Sometimes we do need that. Actually, I don't know what the name of the yarn festival is, but there's one going on in Tennessee this week in Dixon.
Middle Tennessee. I think it's just called Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee.
Fiber Festival or something like that.
Jennifer from work is going.
Daniela went yesterday.
And she said, "Do you want to go to Dixon Saturday?" And I said, "Well, no." I said, I've got plans with Allie, but I just really, I need to stash bust a lot, so.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. And I've done it with my makeup over the past year, well, maybe 2 years. I've made a little makeup stash. I have a decent yarn stash that I've been building for 3-4 years, something like that. And my book stash that's been lifelong. It's like, and I've been looking at it, and it's like, I keep buying things because, I think a lot of people have this, where it's like an endorphin thing. Like, you buy something, it's something new, you're excited because you bought it, and then you just put it up. And I'm trying to be better and more mindful about my purchases and just consumerism in general, but I'm a freaking sucker for some packaging and just new things. It's always fun. So I'm trying to do better in general. Like, I went through, I guess last year I went through all my eyeshadow palettes because I had a lot of eyeshadow stuff, and I gave away what I wasn't using. So what I have is stuff that I actually use. I still have like 8 or 9, which to some people that's a lot, I guess. But, I still have variety that way. And some of it is kind of new. I don't know. And then I look at my yarn, and it's like, oh, I bought this, and I was so excited. Why don't I knit it? So I'm trying to be more mindful
of that.
And I'm also trying, my thing is, I haven't been knitting much either. So I'm like, why do I get to buy yarn if I'm not knitting? You know what I mean? Because, like, before when I was knitting a lot, it's like, oh, well, I'm just replacing this. But I'm not really knitting a whole lot. So I'm, like, now I'm in that mindset where if I need yarn for a project, I'll get it. And that's okay.
Yeah, if there's something...
But just to put in my stash, I'm not...
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid that.
Right. And the patterns and stuff that I went through to pick out, I won't get them all knit because of time and life. But I have done a generic plan for Into the Wool.
That's good, though.
And I have stash shopped.
Sorry. Knit-alongs are great for that, though. Are great for doing that. And I'm just trying... I'm wanting to get stuff off my needles. Like, today, I picked up a hat, and I was like, I was going to knit it just so I could bring it and show it you guys. And I couldn't figure out where I was. And it wasn't like a hard pattern or anything, but it was a pattern that I was kind of doing. And I did a couple rows, and it was just slipped off, and I went, forget it. And I stripped it out. I'm just going to start it over. But then it was kind of nice. It was like, oh, I ripped out a project. So I think I need to, we were just talking before, Mom's taking some time off this week this weekend, and I was talking about how I wanted to take like a few days off, maybe not an entire week off, but like maybe give myself a 5-day weekend, so I can like really go through some stuff and reorganize some things soon. So I think I might go through all my bags of projects that were too precious, and I would one day finish.
Oh, I have some of those too.
The last time I went through them and actually just be like a hard ass, for lack of a better word on it. Just because, you know, your tastes change. And there are a few, like, I can think of 3 off the top of my head that I know I do want to do. And I do want to finish them. So maybe I need to move those out of the storage container that they're in. Because I put a lot of, if anything that I'm not actively knitting on is in a bag in my cedar chest that Max refinished for me a couple years ago. So maybe if it's something that I really want to knit, I need to go through that and bring it downstairs where my current knitting is and at least work on it some.
Right.
I feel like I just went on a really big tangent.
I feel like we're probably not the only knitter that has started stuff and put it away.
Oh gosh, no.
And
that's
you know,
being a knitter.
It's part of it. Unless you're a person that, what are they called, that start and product knitter.
I'm a process knitter.
I am too.
When my product's done, like half the times I just put it back in the bag and then put the back up and move on to the next thing. And that's so ridiculous, especially with socks. With socks, I'm super bad about doing that because it's like, well, I don't want to weave in the ends now because that's boring.
And it's hot right now. You're not gonna be wearing them anyway.
Yeah. And I'm not too proud to wear socks with ends not woven in. I do it all the time. Which is really weird because I have so many weird sensory things. You think that tail would bother me, but
must not be touching you somewhere. Your nails are very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Off subject.
I'm pretty sure the last 6 months have been off subject.
That's okay.
That's fine.
I enjoy watching podcasts where there's conversation going on. Also.
Exactly.
So what else are you working on?
So I have one more thing that I've been knitting on. I'm going to show off my bag because it's my favorite right now. This is my Frida Kahlo bag that Caffeinated Gert made for me. My huge bag. I love it. So last week, guys, I actually went to Sock Club. I haven't gone to Sock Club in I don't know how many months. And if you don't know what Sock Club is, because we talked about it a lot on Caffeinated Knitting, that once a month we all get together and we get lunch, and then we go to Books A Million and we get a coffee, or if you're me, you get a frozen hot chocolate because you don't like coffee, and we just knit and hang out together. And is that correct English? I don't know. Anyway, I have not been able to.
There you go.
Let's just get rid of that. Go for the past few months, and I just really haven't felt like going. But I got to go last weekend, and I had so much fun. And because I'm still not really in a super knitting place right now, I made myself bring my sweater, and I actually added quite a bit.
Oh, good.
I got some, and I'm gonna set it over here. Oh, I dropped a ball, but that's okay. I added.
Wow.
I finished this purple and this white and started the purple. Oh, it's not even on camera. So I finished this purple and this white and started this purple at Sock Club. I finished this purple, this white, and started...
Another white?
Yeah. No. I finished the purple and started... I don't know. I knit like 2 stripes at Sock Club and then added a stripe and a half last night.
I know. I didn't get to go... I went to Kentucky and we took my mom out for a week late. Mother's Day lunch and went to get her Mother's Day flowers. But my sister was out of pocket Mother's Day weekend, so we had to put it off. And then for some reason, the month before, I didn't get to go either. So I'm excited to get to go next time.
So just because I don't think I'm talking about this, I don't think I have talked about this for a while. I'm not doing good with my grammar. The variegated is Northbound Knitting in the Mosaic colorway. The purple is from a mini skein kit from Rock and String. I don't know, to my knowledge, it doesn't have a colorway name. The white is the lightest gradient from the Seattle Sky gradient set from Lydia. And then the other purple's from I think a different gradient or mini skein set from Rock and String. Last night I was thinking, my purple's getting low. Like, I wonder how many more rows I can get out of it. I had a Touch of Brilliance last night. I was like, well, you dummy, you can measure and see how much yarn you use per row, and that way you'll know how many stripes you can get out of each thing. So I measured, and I don't remember what it was. I wrote it down. But I know that I can get one more stripe out of the purple with a good chunk left over. I think I was like one row shy of being able to get 2 full stripes. So I'm going to do one more stripe of the purple. So that'll be 4 stripes of purple. And then I'll know, so I'll be able to get 4 stripes of all the rock and string colors. So now I've got to figure out how I want to do these, because I still have enough left of these for...
That's that real pale silver.
The lightest gray. I still have enough for, I think, 10 stripes. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how many, get all my yarn out again, see how many of the fun color, for lack of a better word, fun colors there are, versus how many of the different gradients, which I'm pretty sure there are 5 of the grays, and then figure out from there how much more I want to do. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to order another skein of the Mosaic from Northbound Knitting and stripe it on the sleeve with the leftover gray gradient. I think that's what I'm going to do.
That'll be pretty.
I also have a really pretty green that I had set aside to use for my sleeves, but I was worried about that being maybe too much. So I think, because this sweater is Granito, I never remember, by Joji Locatelli, and it has pockets, and I can't decide if I'm going to do pockets. If I do the pockets, though, I think I'll take the green, and that will be the inside lining of the pockets, maybe. But I still can't decide. I won't use them, so I think I'm leaning more towards, because that was one of the things I liked about it, is that it had pockets. But the more I've thought about it, the more I'm like, I'm not going to use it. I'm not even going to put my hands in it. So I'm leaning more towards just completely editing that out. So, but other than that, I love this sweater. The construction's very good. This is my first sweater. The construction, I did have to message her just to clarify something, and someone else had the same question, and so that made me feel better. At least it's like, well, it's not an out of there question. It was just more of a, just want to make sure I'm understanding this pattern correctly question. So, very well written. Of course, I love her patterns anyway, and it's not striped on hers. I'm striping it myself. Hers was just one really beautiful, like, heathered charcoal gray. It's gorgeous.
This is going to be very pretty.
I think so, too.
Very colorful.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been worried about, my sleeves. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is just save as much of these as I can, and then stripe it with this. Because I can, if I get another full skein of this, that'd be enough for the sleeves, honestly. And that might actually look good, too, just to do the sleeves and the...
My next project that I've got going is also another pattern of Allison's for the Spotlight Knit Along for Into the Wool. It is her, I've never knit You're Immune to Gravity. So I started Immune to Gravity. Got one. There you go. And isn't that pretty? This yarn is by, it's Leading Man Fiber Arts, and it is the Great Sweater Debate colorway.
I love that colorway.
Isn't that pretty?
Did you get this at SSK?
I may have gotten that at, I don't know. Who knows where you get all your stuff at?
Usually I can remember.
I usually can remember. Maybe I did. It is their Show
Stigler. There was one that they ran out of, and I think you ordered it. And that's what I thought that might have been it.
That may have been it. It's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and it's 435 yards. And it's housed in my Rainbow Storm project bag. Isn't that cute? I love the little windows, because if you forget, you can see.
I'm a sucker for that too, actually. Yeah, it's very cute to just look over and see it.
But yeah, this is a fun knit too.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
So that's all my whips.
All right. Well, we thought this episode was going to be a little short, so we were like, well, let's add a discussion, because we haven't had a discussion in a while. So I texted Mom yesterday, and I was like, let's talk about warm weather and knitting. Now, I probably don't need to be saying anything, because I'm not really knitting much anyway, but I thought it'd be kind of fun discussion to have with you guys. Like, what do you knit during warm weather? Do you find that you knit less? Does it not change for you?
I tend to knit maybe more in the summer.
You think so?
I don't know, honestly. I have gotten a good start this time, but as it gets hotter, I can't stand that extra So as long as I'm in the house where it's cool, I'm not much of a sit outside person anymore. Anyway, I can't take.
I am precious.
Well, I am not a heat and humidity girl, and I'm afraid we're gonna have a very hot summer.
Oh, we are. We are. It already sucks.
Yeah,
I've already been overheated.
Oh yeah,
with work.
Yeah, it's very hot. I really don't know, but I can see young parents that go to ball fields and stuff. I've seen a lot of photos on Instagram. People take their stuff with them and knit, so maybe it doesn't make a difference for two other people the weather.
For me, I'm not wearing knits. Sometimes I will wear socks. That's about it. I know that we have fiber events that we go to sometimes in the summer, and I'll bring something with me, and if it's inside and I'm not too hot, I'll suck it up and maybe wear it for at least part of it. But I'm a person that when I get hot, I stay hot. And that's why I was referencing the overheated thing. Like, I get sick from it really bad. And so, like, I had a day a couple weeks ago where I was outside for an hour at a visit. In the midday. And then was out for an hour and a half for a visit in the late afternoon. So, like, very, very, very hot times and no shade, nothing. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, these kids don't need to be out either. But not my business. Some daycares are outside way too much. Is my finding. So, yeah, I don't really think about knitting as much. I think I spin more in the summer.
Oh, okay.
And I'll probably be doing more weavings. But like you were saying, I don't go out that much. So, like, I'm home and we keep the house cold because we all like to be cold. And so, our den is a finished basement, so it stays pretty cold.
It is cool down there.
So, I mean, in that regard, it doesn't really change as much. I knit a lot of fingering weight stuff anyway, so it's not like I'm knitting less worsted weight. I don't knit a whole lot of worsted weight or DK weight. So that doesn't really change for me. I think, and I'm trying not to think of it in terms of this year because my knitting is so sporadic right now, but I'll think for me, my knitting does lessen some just in general in the summer, but not a whole lot, if that makes sense.
Well, everybody's so busy in the summertime. There's so much extracurricular activities, I guess, as you call them. You want to grill out, or for people that have fire pits, want to sit outside at night and hang out with your friends, and you're out and you're gone and you're out and about. So
I think it also depends on how other people knit. Like you were saying, you don't bring knitting with you that much. You don't knit outside. Like you don't knit at things that much. I usually bring knitting with me. Like even if we go to the movies, I'll usually bring it with me. I don't usually knit at the movies though. I think it just kind of depends on people's knitting personalities. I really like to just knit at home. Or I'll bring it with me sometimes and I'll knit in the car. But a lot of my knitting is done on my couch while we're watching TV or in the morning before work. So
if we're traveling and Scott's driving, I always knit. Unless we've got the dog with us, because she's piled in the lap. But and it's really hard to knit with her because everything freaks her out. But yeah, it's so relaxing though. But I am getting a little more knitting time in, and we've hoped to be able to keep our weekly lunches up at work.
Good.
It's so much fun.
Good. I'm glad you get that.
We're having a good time.
So yeah, what do you guys do? Do you notice a change in your knitting during the warmer months? Is there no change? Let us know in the Ravelry thread. Your knitting personality? I'm going to keep using that word, I guess. So
I'd be curious to know, are there summer weight? Because I love my knits. And I wouldn't care to have like a thin shawl to have to throw on. Especially you go to an event, just if nothing else, just put it on right before you go inside. Yeah,
like a lacy.
Like a
well, because you could knit a shawl and lace weight. It doesn't have to be a lacy shawl. Like you could knit just like a regular garter stitch shawl and lace weight, so it would just be thinner and more drapey.
Might be something to think about later.
So yeah, that would be something, because I mean, you could wear like a lace shawl or a cowl even, and you might not even really notice it's there.
Oh, I would like, a lace weight cowl would be good, because I noticed it's so cold at work. We could wear we could wear our heaviest, bulky ones and be okay, and then just strip it off as you go outside.
Well, I know a lot of people who work in offices will leave knitwear and things like that there, so.
Yeah. A girl came in the office the other day, and she was wrapped up just like it was wintertime. She had an infinity scarf wrapped all the way around, and I thought, that's nothing me to go outside. I couldn't take it, but... So, are you reading anything?
Well, first, we gotta do Hats for Kiddos.
Oh, Hats for Kiddos!
So, our month for May, or by the time you guys watch this will be over. I'll do Random Number Generator again, and we will pick our winner. So, if you haven't already, please make sure that you get your picture up in the thread. Our theme for June is going to be Boys Club. And it was brought to our attention by, I believe it was Ange of the East.
It may have been.
I meant to double check her name. I know it was Angela. But, that a lot of the hats that people have been knitting have been maybe a little bit more girly. And I hadn't even thought about it until she said something. And so I thought maybe for this month we'll just do, I wanted to come up with something really, really cutesy. But I was like, well, let's just do Boys Club. That's something that's like an inside joke with me and Max anyway. So, I thought that'd be good. So anything. I mean, just some gender neutral or specifically boy hats for this month. And we'll probably do another boy-themed one for July, but we might tweak it a little bit. So on to books. What have you been reading? Or have you finished books?
I have actually finished 2.
All right, so you go ahead and talk about your 2.
One Breath Away by Heather Guterkoff. In the midst of a sudden spring snowstorm, an unknown man armed with a gun walks into an elementary school classroom. Outside the school, the town of Broken Branch watches and waits. Officer Meg Barrett holds the responsibility for the town's children in her hands. Will Thwaite, reluctantly entrusted with the care of his 2 grandchildren by the daughter who left home years earlier, stands by helplessly and wonders if he has failed his child again. Trapped in her classroom, Elvin Oliver watches for an opportunity to rescue the children in her care, and 13-year-old Augie Baker, already struggling with the aftermath of a terrible accident that has brought her to Broken Branch, will risk her own safety to protect her little brother. As tension mounts with each passing minute, the hidden fears and grudges of the small town are revealed as the people of Broken Branch race to uncover the identity of the stranger who holds their children hostage. I liked it. I thought it was good. It's got 4 stars on, I guess, Audible, Amazon, I guess is what that is. They kept, you know how they are. They don't want you to figure out who it is. So they kept going all these different ways, and actually I was very surprised when they revealed who it was. So it was good. I enjoyed listening to it. And then the other one I finished was an James Patterson, Alex Cross one. It's Across the Line. Of course, that was police, FBI work, lots of shooting, killing, all of the things that goes along with a James Patterson, Alex Cross book.
Gotcha.
So it was good, though. So what, have you got something to read?
I'm listening to Into the Water by Paula Hawkins, which I'm pretty sure I talked about last time. So I'm not really going to talk about it right now. I'm about halfway done. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the story. I think I talked about this last time, that there are a bunch of readers, and I meant to actually sit down and think about how many different perspectives this book has, but I can think of 7 different ones off the top of my head, and I'm thinking that might be too much. I'm not saying
readers.
No, I don't remember how many readers. But
Perspectives.
Perspectives. Each chapter is a different person's perspective, and I feel like that's a lot of.
That is a lot of different.
So yeah, I can think of 6 or 7, and I don't remember how many readers there are. Let's see if I can find out real quick. But that's just hard. And the other book I'm reading is also a lot of perspectives, and I love multiple perspective books. I'm very pro that. You guys know that, but I feel like maybe 3 tops, and then after that it starts to get a little maybe convoluted.
And what else was it she wrote?
Girl on Train.
Girl on Train, okay.
Let's see, there are 4, 5, 6, and the 6th one has ... So I don't know if that's because it doesn't finish her name or what, and it won't
let you load it without it starting, will it?
I keep trying to push it in. There's at least 6 narrators, though.
Wow.
some drowning pool
Mm-hmm.
in this town that has a history of, that's where they would kill women for being witches and things like that. Like, there's a lot of history about it. So, it's talking about... So the history of the drowning pool is really, really interesting, and I really like that part. I don't know. I'm not super into it, though. Like, I can't pinpoint what I don't like about it, though, other than the fact that I think there's just too many voices. One thing that I like about different perspective books is getting person A's viewpoint on the situation and then person B's viewpoint on the situation. I feel like then you really then you really know what's happening.
Right.
I feel like with this, though, it's just there's too many cooks in the kitchen situation, and for a multiple perspective book to be good, you have to have those distinct voices with each character, and I don't know if all these characters have their own voice well enough, or a good enough voice to be their own thing, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I'm liking it. I'm liking the story itself, but I'm not digging the book, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So...
Then I started listening to another one. This must be it's still got 13 hours, so I may have just started this one yesterday morning. It's When We Were Sisters by Emily Richards. And... Alright, Emily Richards comes... From best-selling author Emily Richards comes an emotional story about love, loyalty, and the deep bonds of sisterhood. While love and loyalty made them sisters, secrets could still destroy them. As children in foster care, Cecilia and Robin vowed they would be the sisters they never had. Cecilia, a superstar singer-songwriter, is living on the edge, and Robin set aside her career as a successful photojournalist to create the loving family she always yearned for. But gazing through a wide-angle lens at both past and future, she sees that her marriage is disintegrating. Her attorney husband is rarely home. She and the children need Chris's love and attention, but does Chris need them? For Cecilia, a lifetime of lies has finally caught up with her, and she wants a chance to tell the real story of their childhood and free herself from the nightmares that still haunt her. When she asks Robin to be the still photographer for the documentary on foster care, Robin agrees, even though Chris will be forced to take charge for the months she's away. She gambles that he'll prove to them both that their children and their marriage are a high priority in his life. As the documentary unfolds, memories will be tested and the meaning of family redefined, but the love of two young girls forged into bonds of sisterhood will help them move forward as the women they were always meant to be. Robin was 9 when she went into foster care, and I think Cecilia was 13 when Robin joined that family. So they grew up together. And so I believe it's going to be a good one.
Good. I'm still reading The Nest. This one started off with a bang, but similar to Into the Water, there's every chapter's a different perspective, and some of the people I like, some of the people I don't see why we need their opinion on anything or why they're even in the story yet. So I'm about halfway done, and I mean, I can, again, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can think of 7 different ones. I'm on chapter 17. That's just a lot. It's a lot of people to remember. And this is why I never finished Game of Thrones. Because every chapter was a different character. And I would fall in love with that character's process. Like, that person's voice. And then it would go to someone else and I'd be like, I don't care about these people at all. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to finish it because I want to know. Parts of it are really good. Like, the parts that are actually about the Plum family and the Nest are super interesting. These extra parts that I guess will have a point. I mean, they're connected to these people in some way, and I, like, the connection's there, and it's not like they're just some random person. Like, I get the connection. I don't know if it's necessary, though. I don't know. And I really liked her writing to begin with, but I think I've been so annoyed about all these people that I don't know if I don't know. It's a debut novel, and yeah, it's fine. It's been fine so far. There's one thing. There is a Walter and a Walker character.
I hate when
No,
they do
but they
that.
did that. She did that and then like made a joke about it.
Oh, okay.
So, but then there's one part where it was supposed to say Walker, but it said Walter, and it really threw me off. And I had to read it again. And I'm like, no, that's the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it like makes me really want to like circle it and edit it. So, I mean,
The editor at Allison's gonna come out.
It might have already been edited since then, but it's just like, well, if you didn't catch that, maybe you shouldn't have done that little joke. That's how I felt about it. So, but she did make a joke about it, but I didn't know if it was. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Yeah. So, I'm liking both these books, but not enough to like just sit down and finish them. Which, I mean, obviously the audiobook I'm listening while driving. But, you know, some days I would rather listen to a podcast or I'd rather listen to music, so it just depends on my mood that day. But, yeah, hopefully I'll have those finished by the time we podcast again. So
I do have one more that I am currently reading. It's Knit to be Tied by Maggie Sefton. It's a little cozy mystery, and it's based in Colorado. There's a knitting shop, there's a group of knitters, and it's a mystery. So it's just a cute little quick read, and I'm really enjoying it now that I knit, you know.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like, are there references to it?
There's references to it. They talk about classes. They talk about spinning. And, yeah, it's kind of cute.
That's all we have, I guess. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to pack up and go grill some hamburgers.
Right. So, this is the Memorial Day weekend, so I hope everyone enjoys a long weekend with their family. Of course, by the time this is up, it's probably over, but I hope you enjoyed it, and we can't wait to come back and be in your living rooms again real soon.
And don't forget to go to the thread and tell us what kind of knitter you are. Do you no, that's wrong wording. Tell us what kind of knitter you are in the summer, is what I mean.
Right, in the hot weather.
So, does your knitting change? All that good stuff. So, we can't wait to see what you guys have to say. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Again, I'm Allie.
I'm Vicki.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.